Let me tell you about the chains that bind us. The strange thing is, most of them are invisible. And the key to getting free? It's already in your hands. You just have to reach for it. Here's a tragedy that plays out in the lives of millions. Brilliant minds stuck in mediocrity. Capable hands sitting idle while the dreams gather dust. Voices that could shake the world, reduced to whispered complaints in the dark. So what separates the men who live boldly from the men who just exist? It isn't talent. It isn't luck. It isn't connections. Those things matter, sure, but they're not the answer. The answer is agency. So what is agency? It's the capacity to act, to choose, to be the author of your own story. It's the deep belief that your decisions matter, that your effort counts, that you're not just a leaf blown around by winds you can't control. You're the captain, steering your ship straight through the storm. Simple idea, and maybe the most transforming one a man can ever take hold of. Now think about the alternative. Think about the man who believes his circumstances are fixed, that the hand he was dealt is the hand he has to play, no matter how badly it was dealt. That isn't just pessimism. It's a kind of spiritual imprisonment. The psychologist Martin Seligman had a name for this. He called it learned helplessness. When people learn that their actions have no effect on their situation, eventually they stop trying at all. They become passengers in their own lives, spectators to their own story. And here's something worth sitting with. Throughout all of history, the people in power have tried to strip agency away from ordinary men. Tyrants understand this instinctively. A people who believe they can't change their situation will never even try. Slave owners knew the most effective chains were never made of iron. They were the belief in your own inferiority. Dictatorships don't survive on brute force alone. They survive by destroying, piece by piece, your belief that what you do matters. So agency isn't just a personal virtue. It's a political and existential necessity. You can see its absence everywhere. The employee who complains about his job for years but never once updates his resume. The artist who aches to create but keeps waiting for the right time. The man stuck in a relationship that's killing him, convinced he has no other options. In every one of these cases, the real prison isn't the circumstance. It's the belief that he has no power to change it. But here's where the truth turns beautiful. Agency is not given to you. It's claimed. Nobody bestows it. You don't need permission. It's a declaration, a posture, a fundamental choice about how you're going to face the world. Every great transformation in human history started with one person who refused to accept the world the way it was. Theodore Roosevelt was a sickly, asthmatic boy, and his own father looked him in the eye and told him the truth. You have the mind, but you do not have the body. And without the body, the mind cannot go as far as it should. You must make your body. So he did. Day after day in the gym and the boxing ring, he built himself into one of the toughest, most vigorous men ever to sit in the White House. Steve Jobs wasn't waiting around for permission to revolutionize computing. He just decided to act as if he had every right to try. The entrepreneur who bets everything on a vision. The athlete who's up at 4 a.m. for one more rep. The father who decides right now to break a toxic pattern in his family. They all share one thing. They claimed their agency. And here's the paradox that should give you chills. Agency survives any circumstance. Viktor Frankl was imprisoned in Nazi concentration camps. He watched men around him lose the will to live, even when survival was still physically possible. The ones who made it through often did so because they found meaning, because they held on to control over their inner response, even when every external freedom had been ripped away. In the worst conditions humanity has ever known, agency remained. The last fortress of the human spirit.
So here's the heart of it. Agency isn't about whether you succeed. It's about whether you try. It's not about controlling the outcome. It's about claiming your right to take part in creating it. A man who exercises agency might still fail, but he'll fail on his own terms, having lived as the author of his life instead of just a character in someone else's story. So what is agency really? It's the recognition that between what happens to you and how you respond, there's a space. And in that space lies your freedom to choose. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And every small decision you make, how you spend your hours, what you choose to learn, which relationships you feed, which values you refuse to compromise, all of it adds up into a life that is genuinely, unmistakably yours. Because listen, the greatest blessing a man can be given isn't wealth, it isn't safety, it isn't even knowledge. The greatest blessing is the belief that you can act, that what you do matters, that you're not helpless in front of the currents of life, but you can swim, you can paddle, and sometimes you can even fly. This is your birthright. No one can give it to you because no one can take it away, unless you let them. And the moment you claim your agency, you become dangerous to despair, dangerous to stagnation. You become capable of transformation, and not just for yourself, but for every single person around you. So today, right now, in this moment, look at what you're holding in your hands. The key to your prison was never lost. It was always right there, waiting for you to reach out and turn it. Agency is your biggest blessing, so use it.